tall, dark, and handsome. Meet Instagram's latest sensation, Aditya Iyer, from Bangalore, who's winning hearts with his good looks, fascinating posts, and already has over 10,000 followers. And I have with me today his proud parents, Amit Akali, CCO and co-founder of Wondrlab India, and Arjun Bhatia, CMO of matrimony.com. Yes, this duo here did give birth to Aditya Iyer, or should we call him by his initials, AI? Rings a bell? Yes, Aditya Iyer is an artificial intelligence generated bot. Each picture on his Instagram profile is a work of AI imagery generator app called Midjourney, and their captions are processed by none other than ChatGPT. Thank you so much for joining me, Amit and Arjun. You have a very interesting campaign in My Perfect Valentine.
Thank you. And
Thanks,
very
Neeta. Thanks.
introduction.
Before I get into the why of Aditya Iyer's existence, I want to ask you, how exactly did you create Aditya? How does he communicate the technical part of it all? So because everybody is very, very curious about what all AI can.
So I'll go back one step from there actually. And since you named Arjun and me the parents, there are other parents also. So Bhavesh Kosambia is the creative lead on this, and this was actually an idea that eventually came from him. But actually, there are many parents to this idea, and we did something else, and we'd been toying with ChatGPT. Arjun actually in that meeting came up and said, "Give me something with ChatGPT." So between us, it was him saying, "Give me something with ChatGPT," and then Bhavesh and me were discussing, and this thing came up, like, what do I do with ChatGPT? Because ChatGPT actually, is not real at the end of the day. However perfect it is, however beautiful it is, however amazing it is, it's not real. And PM is about real. And then, Bhavesh said that's the idea that we can bring alive. And why don't we create a perfect person who's really not real? And so, like I said, a lot of parents do the idea. But I think what was happening was, I think sometimes there's something that's contextual. And, so I think Arjun, the marketing team at BM, us as an agency, are completely obsessed with platforms and technology and what's happening in culture around us. And thanks to Elon Musk and his tweet, everybody was, at least the industry was obsessed with ChatGPT, and these conversations of AI versus creativity, so all of that was happening. I think we as an agency were also going crazy and just making stuff. We were making ChatGPT write poems for us. We were making visuals and Midjourney. So we've been playing around a lot with it, and we're having great fun with it. And at that point, some discussion came up, and Arjun actually said that let's try something with ChatGPT, and therefore it was somewhere we said great. It makes so much sense. And then obviously the idea was really sharp, and came back to what the brand really stands for. I'll let Arjun add something. Just one more thing. I think this was also the philosophy of, and Arjun can also talk to you a little about that. It's actually Muruga, who's the founder. His philosophy is about not running after perfection. He believes that really, human beings are imperfect, and it's all about finding maybe the right imperfect person for you. So if you run after perfection, you probably will not. The institution of marriage is not built on perfection. The institution of marriage is actually built on imperfection, but someone perfect for you, or you being the perfect someone for someone out there. So I think a lot of these, this thinking, the technology, the philosophy, the platform first, I think all of that came together to give birth to the idea. Sorry, Arjun.
Yeah, sure. So, I think Amit covered it well, Neeta. Just to add on from a matrimony.com perspective, see, marriages are a age-old tradition, right? It's been there since our grandparents, their grandparents, and since I think uh, uh, the time the human civilization came. So it's not something new. But the concept of marriage as an institution is changing,
Hmm.
and the expectations that now people have are becoming much more and more. And at times, that leads to problems later on in their
Hmm.
courtship period, or even after they get married. And
Hmm.
we see, divorce rates rising year on year. When we were discussing about this concept of Valentine's Day, we wanted to have a campaign which kind of jolted people out of
Hmm.
the way people now think about marriages. It's becoming a little transactional, if you ask me. There are certain set of expectations that people have,
Hmm.
whether they are the must-haves or good to have. They don't differentiate between it. There are
Right.
just expectations. Okay, I'm not saying there should not be expectations, but there
Hmm.
should be a clarity between what is a must-have and what is a good to have. Okay,
Hmm.
so when we wanted to bring out that point, we thought, why not to use something which is right now culturally and conversationally, in
Well.
buzz,
Hmm.
and take a very different spin, and first show someone who's like an ideal person
Hmm.
using all this AI technology, and then bring out that surprise element on, or that jolt, that look, no one is perfect, right?
Hmm.
Human beings by their DNA are imperfect. There are flaws, and that's what makes them human. And the day you start accepting that is the day when you can get into a relationship. So,
Hmm.
and we are the platform to help you find real people. So that was the whole idea. And I think the way Amit and team cracked it in terms of concept. So my
Hmm.
one line brief to them was, guys, look at AI, okay, because it's shooting up, its conversations culturally relevant right now. We will get mind share if we do
Hmm.
something. So
Hmm.
so I give the credit to them to really bring home the point after that. Yeah.
Okay, and he's really managed to get girls swooning all over Aditya here. I think I've seen a lot of comments to that effect. And I think that concept of finding, I think, perfection through perfect imperfections. I think that really works and comes out through this campaign. But one thing that I really wanted to check up on was, there is was there this worry that his image, the picture, looks overall might actually be similar to a real person somewhere in the world. We have seen AI messing up before. The best example would be Google's $100 billion loss in market value because of this factual error by their AI chatbot Bard during launch. Is technology completely reliable? Did you have any reservations as a client once it was being executed?
So on the chat GPT, I was not that concerned, because before even we started the execution of the campaign and this thought had started forming up,
Hmm.
I myself started experimenting a little with chat GPT, and I
Hmm.
was pretty amazed with the output that it gave.
Hmm.
Mid journey, we were a little concerned, to be honest, Neeta, and that's when I also for the first time tried Mid journey, and the outputs that we were getting,
Hmm.
I was having some concerns on a whether we will be able to generate a similar face for
Hmm.
different scenarios,
Okay.
because I was not able to do it when I was trying it with my limited tech knowledge, and
Hmm.
that's when I raised this point with Amit and Bhavesh, and they came up with a solve. But yeah, this was one challenge that we faced. So actually, if you ask me, at least right now, the technology is still not flawless,
Hmm.
and we did have hiccups, and we did need human intervention when we went into the nitty-gritties of executing the campaign. So
Hmm.
Amit, if you would like to add on to what I just
Yeah,
said in terms of
I,
the challenge that we were looking at specifically.
yeah. So I think for this entire thing of AI versus creativity, I think AI does yet have some time to go in that sense. So when we started working, when Bhavesh and team started working on it, so the couple of things. One was that in fact AI sometimes looks like AI also. So
Right.
there is the if you look at it, there are the brown tones, there are the there's a certain warmth that comes out, there's a certain skin texture that comes out. So AI
Hmm.
does, and we studied a lot of, so Bhavesh and team actually studied a lot of uh, uh, AI work. They studied a lot of AI work that other people had done, and they realized there was some of it that was not looking like AI, that was looking a lot more natural than uh, yeah. So he actually Bhavesh identified and gotten an expert who's just the right person to give the right prompts, who works with AI. So he works
Okay.
only with AI to get work. So yeah, we actually created a job to work with AI, but we got an expert in who actually helped sat with Bhavesh and team and made them more human, made them more natural, obviously through AI, but just by giving the right prompts. And
Hmm.
again, so that was the first. Then again, when we took people, we took them. I mean, even today, for example, I got a comment from some girl saying he looks like Rana Daggubati. So I
Hmm.
think a lot of that will obviously happen. Every human being is distinct, and we created a lot of characters and then went with this one. So
Hmm.
somewhere had to look like an Aditya Iyer and had to be good looking but yet human. So yeah, a lot of effort was put into that. So we chose amongst a lot of faces. We had a lot of options. So we had XYZ in 5 situations, then we had this picture in 5 situations, then we finally went with this one picture. Also, when you work with AI, you realize that it's not as easy as creating a character and then saying, show me this character. I mean, it's like you create Aditya Iyer and say, make Aditya Iyer on a bike, make Aditya Iyer on a this, make Aditya Iyer on a that. That's not how it works. You have to give the same prompts all over again. So,
Hmm.
for example, it will be South Indian XYZ all over again,
Hmm.
and
So
one
it's a
Aditya Iyer,
fresh picture that you're generating every single time in a way.
and Aditya Iyer playing the guitar may not look like Aditya Iyer playing the
Cooking or something like that. Yeah.
exactly. So we
Hmm.
again, Bhavesh and team. I mean, we got an expert in who is an expert on working with AI, and they work day and night on this. And again, you have to generate many images to be able to choose images that really look like the same person also. So
Hmm.
yeah, so I think we're experts now on AI. Chat, like he said, was a lot easier. It gives you very
Right.
but there we had to be disciplined. So there we had to, we decided even a comment that he makes will be on ChatGPT. So every word that was spoken by him on
Hmm.
the page, if anybody else makes a comment that was separate, but any word
Hmm.
by him was brought alive on Chat GPT. And obviously, but the giving the prompts was up to us. So obviously, we went into okay, if this was the perfect guy, what would he be? And therefore, he restores cars. And so we had this big brainstorming where we came up with stuff that's beyond the cliches. I mean, somewhere a pop
Hmm.
cliche, but yeah, restoring cars, bike ride in Ladakh, all of that.
But tell me, I also saw pictures of other people. There was some happy couple, an old age couple that he posted. I mean, you posted on his behalf, and there were friends of Aditya Iyer, and even Aditya Iyer himself. Was there any reservation at any point, thinking that today I might get a call from some person on the internet saying, "Listen, you posted my picture, please get it out." I mean, because it's AI at the end of the day, and it's getting trained on millions of original pictures. I think Midjourney is also being sued for copyright infringement in the US. So was that a concern ever?
No, no, not a concern. I mean, we trusted AI in that sense.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
uh, uh,
Interesting. Interesting.
but
And
but
and
but
hmm.
everything was so even the puppies, even everything was created on AI. So
Okay. Okay. And once you actually came out with this announcement that he's not real, did the followers drop, when people really found out, or is it still roughly the same 10,000 plus, or
Neeta,
we
let,
didn't?
let me take that. Let me take that. Sorry. So, in fact, the followers increased.
Oh,
The followers increased, the engagement increased, the number of comments increased. It was the other way around.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So in
In
that
fact,
case, now that you go on,
yeah,
go
in
on.
fact, just to add on, Neeta, after seeing this character that we have created, one of my friends messaged me and told me that, are you aware about this Instagram character who is an AI created character, and he sent me the link also. She has a 2.5 million followership, and she's been there on Instagram for I think a year or two now. Someone in Europe has created it, and just like Aditya Iyer, she also does everything out there and all. So I was not aware about it. While we were making this campaign, we were not aware about this. Of course, that the objective of that character is something else. I haven't studied that handle. He just showed me some pictures and all, but it was like a very similar thing to what we did in terms of creating the character. The objective might have been different. I haven't followed that character completely to see. So yeah, so quite an interesting piece. So the point I was making was people want to know what AI can do. So
Right.
rather than after discovering, uh, they are not feeling that, let me unfollow and all that. In fact, me and Amit and the team were having a conversation yesterday evening also, that what do we do with that character now that we have created, and it has
Right.
almost 11,000 followers now. uh,
Mhm.
should it still be there? Does it have a life now? Should we take it forward? So that is a thought that is running in our minds also right now.
Yeah, in fact, I was just going to ask you that now that you've created such a good following for Aditya, what are the plans? Are you can maybe leverage him as an influencer of sorts, somebody who's not going to charge you money.
I think that Amit has to decide on the creative side what we need to do with him now that the IP has been created.
Maybe, I mean, I don't know if there's a possibility by which, after creating images, you can also create videos of Aditya here. So you can actually have him as a full-fledged influencer. So, I mean, sky is the limit once you start something so interesting as interesting as this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think, like Arjun was saying, I think the idea of creating AI, I think, I mean, in fact, AI, people have married AI also. People have married AI. So it's a crazy thing that's happening out there. I think what people really identified with, in fact, was after it was announced. So there's that many people that are in the Valentine zone and in this whole thing of, but after it was announced that this was something that Bharat Matrimony did, and the lovely message of, there are no perfect people, but there's someone perfect for you, or flawless is, I mean, flawful is beautiful, and
Right.
there's someone imperfect but perfect for you, that's waiting there for you on Valentine's Day. And that this was actually messaging by Bharat Matrimony is what people really, really connected to. So that I mean, at the end, is all about storytelling and emotion. So that has uh, uh, a lot.
Right.
And people love the fact that they've been fooled a little bit, and that we. I
Right,
think they
in a way. But it also throws up another possibility. It's like a heads up of sorts that, the one in UK that you mentioned, and of course, Aditya Iyer, our very own AI influencer. Many influencers that we may truly admire in future may actually be bots and not for real. I mean, who's to say who they really are? I mean, possibilities endless, and also it's scary. I mean, your thoughts, Amit and Arjun, what do you think?
it is interesting. I think people know there are AI influencers that are openly AI influencers. People follow them for other reasons. Why do people live in the metaverse? So this world is going to evolve. It's going to be a very interesting, real and virtual world. You know,
Arjun,
I'm not
what do
going to
you
get into.
think? Do you
Yeah,
agree?
yeah, Neeta, I think we can't avoid that. That is coming with this whole Web 3.0 on the horizon. We will have AI permeated in all parts of our life. So whether we ask them questions or they become influencers and advise on certain things, and I think they will be more human than humans, the way this campaign also proved. So yeah, there is no avoiding them. It's right there. It's around the corner.
Okay. And also there is this growing concern, Amit, this one is for you, that Chat GPT may replace creative jobs. What do you really think?
That concern was answered with this campaign. So I think honestly, I think this entire thing of, will they ever replace creativity or creative people? No, I mean, for two three reasons, right? One is I think this campaign is a resounding answer to think no, not at all, because at the end, it's how you use AI. You would always need a creative mind
Mm-hmm.
uh, to be able to use AI in a way for a brand. What took the creative mind, not just the creative mind, it took the agency and the marketing team to get into the cultural insight, to identify chat GPT and say isko use karte hai, to get into the fuel of, I mean, it was in fact the founders philosophy of imperfection and someone imperfect but perfect for you waiting out there. All of that, these are all human inputs,
Mm-hmm.
and we use ChatGPT as a tool. So at the end, it was creativity that was running the campaign, and even to get, and we also realized that, and things will get better, obviously, but we also realized that to get the best out of ChatGPT, to make it look less fake, we again needed human expertise to do that. I mean, the guy who could handle AI, who we brought on board and then worked with Bhavesh and team. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
these are the people who got the best out of AI.
Right.
So I think AI is just what you make of it. Is another lovely tool, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end, creativity, insights, will storytelling, uh, is what will make something out of AI.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Also,
Arjun,
Neeta, if I
we.
could, yeah,
Mhm.
sorry, if I could add on before you ask me on this. See, I know there has been some conversation going on whether AI will replace humans and all that,
Mhm.
and what will happen on jobs, and what will our children be doing, or the next generations will be doing. My take on this is, see, AI will know only to the point, at least in the shape and form that it is right now. I can't speak about 15 or 20 years later.
Mhm.
AI will only know to a point that it has been taught about. Okay, so basically, it's an aggregation of metadata. It is good at analyzing, billions of gigabytes of data and
Mhm.
finding out patterns in a far more quicker way than a human brain can do.
Right.
But if you talk about, so what it will do is, in at least in the immediate future, immediate or near term or mid term future, is that it might start replacing jobs which are mundane and
Mm.
can be automated to a very high degree or high level. So it will remove
Mhm.
errors, productivity will improve. So
Mhm.
maybe there will be losses in that aspect. And
Right.
companies are getting people are getting scared. There are use cases which are coming out and all, on that aspect. But when it comes to human creativity and ingenuity, you know thinking about patterns from your experience, and also uh, things which have not been experienced, or are not uh, there in the world right now. I think,
Mhm.
at least in the shape of form that it is right now, AI cannot do that. AI, for example, can't think of making a smartphone. If I were to take a dumb example, right?
Mm.
That's not there in the next 10 years. It will so right now it's even getting more important that our future generations and all are a set of original
Hello.
thinkers who do stuff which is more creative and
Hi.
yeah. So that's my take
Yeah.
on it.
Okay. And maybe another way of asking you this question, and I would expect our honest
They come when they
responses.
have tiles. They are
Uh,
working,
Sorry,
no?
Michelle, please go on mute. Michelle, please go on mute.
okay, here's hoping she is on mute. Another way of asking this question would be, would chat gpt kind of make, which right now is making day-to-day work easy for creative agencies, like maybe creating clickbait titles, generating different kinds of creatives, personalized mailers. I mean, there's a lot of work that it can handle. From an honest response from you, would you be okay giving agencies the same remuneration if a freely available chatbot is helping them with the work? Because you
Yeah,
also
Nita,
end up
yeah.
paying for the scope of work, the number of people on the account, and all of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's an important point. And to be honest, see, even I have tried ChatGPT for writing, search ads for me. And
Okay.
yeah, I tried that initially, and honestly, the output was not bad. It was as good as a person in my team who has 2 to 3 years of experience in copywriting.
Oh.
So yes, the contracts and the mix of deliverables with the marketing agencies or any partnerships will change. The underlying productivity or enhancements that AI brings in will be part of the contract, and what humans can bring in, the value add, I think that will be more talked about. That is for sure. So the efficiencies that these tools will bring in definitely will be taken into consideration probably as early as in the next 1 or 2 years in the advertising and marketing field. So yeah, the value will be what the agency or the person is delivering on top of what AI can do, which again comes back to that creativity, ingenuity, whole point of on those aspects.
Very, very interesting point, Arjun. I think I'll sum up, like taking a leaf from what Amit also said. This is a time when people are getting addicted to using ChatGPT for writing assignments, poetry for their loved ones, and all of that. Here's hoping that AI just becomes another valuable tool at the hands of creative professionals and not a real threat. Thank you so much, both of you, for joining me in this conversation. I think it was a fabulous chat and a very candid one at that. Thank you so much. And here's wishing Aditya here all success.
Thank you.
Thanks, Neeta. Thanks for having us.